Hello, I'm at GuffmanHouse.com. This is Mike Okish from Ride Snowboards. This is a Ride Wildlife. The other one is a Ride Machete, and we're going to show you their similarities and their differences to help you pick which one is better for you. Hey, hi Mike. Welcome.
How you doing?
Welcome back.
Thanks for having me.
Hey, you're welcome. We are at my house in my backyard, kind of walking through some product, and Mike and I selected some keyboards from the line that we wanted to compare because either there's a little bit of overlap or we get a lot of questions about, what's the difference between this board and this board? So if you have any of those questions, like you want us to compare boards, leave those, of course, in the comments below. And if you haven't subscribed to the channel, make sure to do that right now. But we're going to dive into two decks. We have the Wildlife, beautiful deck, of course, and then we also have the Machete. There's some overlap, but there's some differences. Mike, what's a big overview of both these boards in terms of similarities and differences?
So right off the bat, I mean, both of these boards are great to go anywhere you want to go.
Right.
So we've got the Machete, which is more of a twin all-mountain freestyle.
Okay.
And then you've got the Wildlife, which is more of that mellow groom powder kind of ride. But again, like I said, both of these guys can go virtually anywhere, or are built to go virtually anywhere.
Right.
So it really just depends on what you're looking for out of your ride.
Right.
So if you're looking for a little bit mellow, bit of a cruiser, something that's going on where you're looking for just some response, but you want surfy feel to it, that's where you would come into play with your Wildlife. And then if you wanted a little bit more responsive story going on there with a medium response and a twin, that's where you'd go in the Machete. So both of these guys are going to have centered bases, stone ground centered bases.
Really fast.
Yep, so great start for any board there. They're both going to have a performance core. Great. So it's 3 pieces of wood in there, all put together. So you got Paulownia, you got aspen, and you got bamboo.
Right.
So now add in that bamboo. We got a 3-year warranty on all of them.
Booyah.
But then on top of it, it's giving you that best strength to weight ratio.
Great.
So you still got pop without having to put a bunch of carbon in or a bunch of heavier woods to give you that pop.
Great.
Both are going to have our roll-in slime wall.
All right.
And both are going to also offer Carbon Array 3.
All right.
So there's 3 stringers that are coming across here, and it gives you just quick edge to edge and then extra pop on there.
Cool. On both the nose and the tail.
Yep, on both of these guys.
Cool.
So those are what makes them the same, basically, and now what makes them different from each other, like we said, starting out with the Wildlife. The biggest story is it's going to be a directional hybrid camber.
Okay.
So built a little bit more for that backcountry, or groomer story. We're going to have big rise in the front, so a large section of reverse camber in the front.
Great.
Keeps your nose up, keeps you floated. Also ease in turning. Right. We're going to go camber underneath the foot, and then it just rolls out to the back. So this camber section on this is still, I hate to say aggressive, but it's a bigger camber story, and it's set back. So you have a larger nose than you do tail. Right.
And the camber rise on the Wildlife, it is fairly high.
I want to say it's like 3 millimeters, so it's a good chunk. All right.
Right.
So, and then on your Machete, you got a twin hybrid camber story.
Okay.
So now you've got a narrow section of reverse camber on the tip and tail to really pick that up.
Right.
Ease in turning, and then it goes camber under the foot.
Great.
Again, this is a centered board, so it's a twin. So this is the same as that going on. So it's going to give you a little bit more of that freestyle aspect. So you can set it back if you want, if you're in deeper powder, or you're looking for turns. But if you're still that guy that wants to carve and likes a twin, so if you're spinning and you're riding switch as well, you're getting the same feel out of the back as you are the front.
Got it.
So great story there. The other big difference between these guys, we talk about that carbon array. Both of them are going to have the carbon array.
Right.
Your Machete is going to have also carbon slime wall, or carbon slime rods.
Okay.
So in the rear and then the front of this, you're going to have dual stringers on the outside that give you a lot more snap.
Cool.
So when we talk about this being a bit more responsive, and you're talking about jumps, landings, any of that extra carbon in there is going to give it that extra pop.
Got it.
Definitely. So This one, both of them are going to have impact pads. But don't get you wrong, this is going to have dual impact, and this will have single. So when we talk about a little bit more mellow response in the wildlife, the single impact pad, it's not going to be jumping as much, or if it is jumping, it's probably jumping in deeper snow, where the double impact pad is going to be like that park groom kind of kid who needs that extra response and dampening in the park.
Cool. You know, like that's one thing I really enjoy about what Ride does with their impact pads or plates is that they help to reduce the board from breaking down too. It makes them just a little bit stronger, and that's a great combination with those roll-in sidewalls that both boards feature, making them ultra strong but not having them be added with any extra weight, which is really cool. Now, I bet everyone kind of notices that there's a fairly similar aesthetic to the top sheet of the Wildlife to the Revolt Bindings high back.
Definitely.
And this was an in-house ride designer. What's his name again?
Yeah, David Banks.
David Banks. Yeah. David did a really good job.
Wonderful guy. This is also one that it's comparable because he did both of these graphics for us.
Ah,
so
he did, but they look so different too.
Yes.
Cool.
So a little bit different story going on as far as the graphic goes, because one of them is a topless design and one is our standard hybrid glass.
Got it.
So the topless on your Wildlife, basically what that does is the ink is put right into your glass story. So less weight, a little bit more durable as far as the top sheet goes, but there's definitely a feel when you get up and check it out in the store. Cool.
So you know the Wildlife, from what I'm kind of gathering, is just a little bit more for a cruiser, but still can be, it can still be poppy and of course aggressive, quick edge to edge, but more for an all mountain rider. Whereas the Machete, a little bit stiffer, more reactive, faster edge to edge than the Wildlife.
Yeah.
Maybe a little bit more pop because of extra carbon, and it's a twin style shaping.
It is.
Cool. What bindings and boots would you match up with the Machete and with the Wildlife?
Ooh. So Wildlife, the matches, matchy. You want to go with that Revolt with the 5 fingers of death in there, which
is actually kind of interesting too, because even though this is can be considered an all mountain freestyle board, the Revolt is, in my eyes, kind of a more park oriented all mountain binding.
Yep.
Right.
So, what you get out of it is having that urethane high back. Gives it a little bit more flex and torsional flex.
To match
so when
the
you're
personality.
talking about that surfy kind of story, that gets a bit confusing when you're looking at it. But yeah, it's going towards that person that's a little bit more laid back. Okay. Not necessarily needing like a hard charging high back.
Cool.
So, believe me, it's still hard charges because this is one that I ride
carbon,
as well. Yep. So I would say that's kind of the best pick for it. Overall, I mean, you could throw a rodeo on this as well. That would be a good pick for you.
Right.
On Machete, this is one of those ones because of where it is at price point. I see a lot of EXs on it.
Okay.
So you're getting that edge chassis with a nylon high back, so still pretty responsive. Right. And then I see also in the rodeo as well.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, these are both a lot of fun, of course. Great graphics, a little bit different, a little more for free riding, a little bit more for park, more aggressive, a little bit more mellow than this one, but still, has some oomph to it.
Oh, yeah.
Those are good boards. And, of course, you can check out both of them at thehouse.com by selecting the link below in the description. Leave us a comment or question. Let us know what you think of the decks and if you've ridden either or both of them. Okers, man, thanks for being here again.
Thank you.
Yeah. Thanks for watching. Subscribe over there, check out more vids there, and hopefully we'll see you on Snow.